Right, now then, hey up, what's up with it? Or should I say, how am I doing? Right, I had an absolutely marvellous day yesterday. I did a full vlog, about 15 minutes of proper vlog time, upload it to edit on my computer, and there were one or two bits on right at the beginning that I didn't particularly want on. So I'm there with my finger on delete button as frames came up, and my vlog video came up and I pressed delete, and the whole shebang went into dustbin. Talk about a little bit knocked, I was a little bit upset. So I'm having to start again, which in some respect it's a good thing, because yesterday's vlog were a bit bitty. I didn't really enjoy doing it. Hopefully this is going to be a bit better. Anyway, this morning I was just looking at my stats on YouTube and noticed that I'd got 270 subscribers, and lo and behold, as I watched it, it dropped down to 269. Come back, all is forgiven. So there you go, I've just dropped down a bit from 270 to 269. But of those 269, I'm eternally grateful. Thank you very much. And right, down to point at vlog this morning, I was listening to radio this morning, laid in bed. BBC Radio 5. I usually listen to Radio 4, but I was listening to Radio 5 this morning. And there was a phone-in and a debate on knife crime in UK. And it seems that there's a bit of an epidemic of knife crime at the moment. There has been for a few years actually. So they were whittering on about knife crime, but it were all centred in around London, you know, as though nothing ever happens anywhere else other than in London. And it gets me a bit mad, that, and it's same politics in general, where they doling money out to provinces, you know, for whatever. Road improvements, building projects, transport links and all that. London and South East get tons more cash than Yorkshire and Durham and Lancashire, you know, all northern counties cut off. Not so much cut off, but certainly they've got them in a stranglehold cash-wise. Quite annoying. I haven't put my lights on, just bear with me a minute. I put my brand new lights on. Oh, that's better. Oh, look at that handsome chap. Can actually see him now. So as I was saying, London, centre of the universe. And it really annoys me, that. Anyway, eventually they got round to talking about knife crime in provinces, and in particular in Liverpool. And this goes for like every major city in UK. They've all got the same problem. They're all starved of cash. With this government, there's been so many cuts. Particularly youth services have been decimated nationwide. There's been thousands of youth workers losing their jobs, both full-time and part-time. And youth work has gone right down the agenda. And then they wonder why crime's on the rise. Plus the fact they've been cutting police budget, 30,000 less police on the streets. So anyway, we talked about knife crime and ways of combating it. That's more important. So first of all, you've got to look at what causes all this unrest. Well, to my mind, a general lack of hope amongst the young people. And I say that with feeling, because back in the day when I left school at 15, no qualifications, I walked straight into a job. No problem at all. People were trying to kidnap you off streets to give you work. Proper booming economy it were. So I got a job straight away. I didn't want to go into steelworks, which most young men my age in Sheffield, the steel city, did, unless you were a kind of cut above rest and you went to grammar school and you got a posh job. I didn't want to work in an office. So I was doing sort of manual work like painting and decorating. These are all apprenticeships. Apprentice painter and decorator. I did apprentice motor mechanics. I went and got a job as an apprentice silversmith. I turned that down at interview because I knew I'd get something else the very same day. That was the situation job-wise that I were in when I were a lad. There were no problem. If you did get a lad that couldn't get a job, plenty of jobs like we used to have bread vans going around delivering bread to people, going around the estates. bread and confectionery, stuff like that. And you could always get a job as a what we used to call a van lad. A bit like fairground workers on waltzers, used to hang on back of van as it sped around the state, you know, eyeing girls up, throwing them the odd pastry. But you could always get something. Nowadays, you can't. It's absolutely flat. You can get a job working for peanuts, but you know the old saying, if you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. You know, there's no incentive to work well, to work hard. Apprenticeships nowadays, you can still get them if you're lucky, but like, they're just for a couple of years. An apprenticeship in my day, you signed on. Sometimes you had to sign a form that said you were going to stick there, and you used to have to pay, I don't know, I can't remember how much it was. I think it was about 50 quid, which was a lot of money then. And that 50 quid guaranteed you like a 4 or 5 year apprenticeship. So you left school at 15, paid you 50 quid, and that 50 quid guaranteed you an apprenticeship. You learned to trade in 5 years. And you got a certificate to enter it to say that you were a fully qualified, time served, plumber, motor mechanic, engineer, whatever. And you didn't stop learning then, you carried on progressing as you worked, depending on company, of course. But nowadays, apprenticeship, it's just a couple of years, and you get, I don't know, you get so many NVQs, and they think you're qualified, but you're not. It's like part of growing up an apprenticeship. It's a rite of passage. Right, once you've served your apprenticeship, boom, you were on full money, you were a man or a woman, and you went your way in the world. That apprenticeship was a life skills learning process as well as a trade process. There isn't that now. So young people today haven't got that step up from being a schoolboy or schoolgirl to being a man or a woman with a trade and something to look forward to. At 23, they're still overgrown school kids because they haven't progressed psychologically to being a fully fledged adult. There's something missing, and that's opportunity. And if you haven't got any opportunities, what's the point? You know, you may as well go robbing, stealing. Hence all the crime, the knife crime. They said they carry knives now for protection because there's so many others carrying knives. That's one of the causes, I think, to my mind. Lack of opportunity to progress and as an adult. If you haven't got that aspiration, that something to aim for, then unfortunately you're stuck as you are. The other point was how to combat this, what to do. And certainly in my job as a youth worker years ago, we strove to give young people a sense of themselves, a sense of self, a sense of worth. We strive to build confidence and self-esteem. This guy that were on radio this morning from Liverpool, he was talking about working with young people that had never been out of their little town or village, or even their little postcode area, or zip code as your Americans call it. And I myself have worked with young people that have never been out of the town they were born in. So what this guy was doing was striving to broaden their horizons. And they used to take them camping, or they do take them camping, out into wilderness, countryside as we call it. There's really no wilderness here unless you go on moors. Take them up to Snowdonia, you know, get them hiking up to the top of Snowdonia, spend a weekend in Snowdonia. That wakes you up, I'll tell you now. That is a wild place. And they learn them how to use a canoe, and they take them sailing on lakes in Lake District. They take them all over UK doing stuff. In Hull, where I used to work as a youth worker, Kingston upon Hull on the east coast, there was a big spate of motorbike and moped thefts. I believe it's still going on, probably is. One of the things that the youth service provided, well, they provided two things really, to combat this was Number one, they opened a two-wheel centre, like a motorbike trail in the middle of the city, and young people that were into motorbike crime, and young people that weren't as well, they used to flock to Chapman Street at two-wheel centre for a couple of spins on dirt track on these trials bikes. Very cheap, it were heavily subsidised by youth service. And kids got a big kick out. There's no need to steal a motorbike. They just walked down to Chapman Street, paid, I forget how much it were, or went to a youth club or contacted a detached group that were working on streets, youth workers. They'd take them down to Chapman Street, and more often than not they'd pay for them. So they got a free ride. They just spent night riding around on the dirt track, and then minibus would come and pick them up and take them back home to their estate. And they thoroughly enjoyed it. Motorbike crime fell dramatically. They also opened the go-kart centre right up in north at City in Branzo, where kids could go, young people could go. And sneakily a few adults did as well, youth workers. We had a go-karts. A couple of hours spinning around a go-kart track racing. They had leagues, they had national competitions. They built their own go-karts. There were a big workshop, well not big, but a small workshop there. It was amazing, and kids really got a lot out of it. But what happened? Government cuts. Strangled them financially. I don't know whether they're still open. I think Chapman Street and the go-kart centre were sold off to a private enterprise or closed down. And it's just so sad that these opportunities for young people were suddenly taken out of circulation. That's what's needed today, something to give them a direction. I'm not saying every kid's going to get turned around by riding motorbikes or go-karts, they're not. But the sad thing is, there's very, very little youth service provision to take these kids under the wing and give them a direction, give them some purpose in life, give them aspirations, or at least wake up their aspirations, so that they think beyond their own little postcode, their own town, their own city. They can think, look at the big picture. And that's another reason why the north of England is being strangled financially, because a lot of this funding is going to London. I don't know, I think politicians think these things only happen in London. My goodness, there's more shootings and stabbings in Manchester and Sheffield, Liverpool. You know, it's got to stop. And this government's got to wake up to the fact that youth services need a big boost. They need a cash injection. They need a huge programme of recruitment for full-time youth workers. They need a huge programme of recruitment for part-time youth workers. And let's face it, the part-time youth workers I've worked with were absolutely amazing in Kingston upon Hull. They were the backbone of the service. They were just mega good, and they lived on the estates they worked in. They knew the young people, and they knew how to address the needs. I'll leave that subject for now. Yeah, so the next step is I'm going to start live streaming. I'm going to start live streaming as from probably Sunday. Yeah, I think that's about it for today. Thank you very much for tuning in to Steel City Man channel. I really appreciate it. If you've stuck to end, you're a good one. I hope I haven't bored you too much with my witterings and ranting. So anyway, all the best. Look after yourselves, and I might see you at weekend. Bye for now.